Okay, everybody, time for a new RecTech demo today. I got my friends Noah and Simon on the line from TalentSpace, a new virtual career event platform. So, Simon and Noah, welcome to the show, first of all.
Thanks so much.
And tell us again just a quick 30-second description of your product, TalentSpace.
Yeah, great to be here. My name is Simon. I'm the Director of Business Development here at TalentSpace. And TalentSpace is a platform for virtual recruiting events and online recruiting activities. We're very focused on engagement and providing a platform that closely mirrors the experience you would have at an in-person event, and make it as easy to use as possible for all folks. And with that, help get folks hired and connect employers with qualified job seekers.
All right. When did you guys start this company, Noah?
So the company's actually been around for about 5 years. Originally, we were organizing in-person college recruiting events, and over time, we were working on a solution to host some of our own events online. And that got better and better until we really kickstarted the focus on the online software during COVID, and got a lot of interest from external organizations to use the software as well. After which we essentially pivoted and are now fully focused on the software as a service business, providing our platform to colleges, workforce development boards, staffing agencies around the world, and a lot of them in the US.
Okay. So it's a global platform. You have global clients then?
Exactly, yeah, with the main focus on kind of Europe and the US, but yeah, very established at this point in the US too.
Nice. And give me a tip or two in terms of just having a successful virtual event, if you could. Are there either of you could answer that?
Yeah, so the way we think of it is that it really comes down to having a place where employers and job seekers can form meaningful relationships. I think at this point, it's obviously people can go on companies' websites and see job postings, but we think the really key point that virtual events plays, providing a place where that relationship can be formed, where an impression can be made, where job seekers can go beyond just information that they can read up on the website, but actually meet someone, get the inside scoop, and really make that connection that can help them find the right employer and also get hired ultimately. And that's what we're really all focused about when it comes to our platform.
All right, appreciate that. Why don't you go ahead and fire up your screen there, and we'll get started. Actually, I need to share to get you the.
Sounds great. Well, what I can do is I can just give a super quick high level overview, with a quick presentation, and then we can also show you some of the engagement functionality in an actual live platform.
Okay.
But just to provide a super quick rundown here, as we mentioned before, TalentSpace is a platform for virtual job fairs and online hiring activities. And we do work together with workforce development boards around the country, local individual ones, as well as larger state organizations like the state of North Dakota, work together with some of the leading colleges in the nation, and also some Fortune 500 companies, anyone who's looking to host a successful online career events. And as I mentioned before, what makes us special is really that focus on engagement, and providing that place where meaningful relationships can be formed. So video is really at the core of the platform. Chat is always an option, but we really put that video front and center of the experience through engagement formats like sessions where organizers or employers can speak to a larger audience and take questions, one-on-one chats where recruiters and job seekers can have a direct one-on-one video interview that can be scheduled through the platform, and live booths that are also very interactive, the same way you would imagine then taking place in an in-person event. Job seekers can just drop in and have a casual conversation with any employer and get their questions answered. And then the other piece, TalentSpace comes with all the functionality needed to host a successful recruiting event. That's obviously the talent database that companies can access before, during, and after an event. They can already look at who's going to be there and send them requests for one-on-one chats. And the other way around, job seekers can browse branded company pages that companies can set up within just a few minutes. They can see what program points, speeches different companies are hosting, what recruiters they're sending for one-on-one chats, and obviously what jobs they're offering.
How many people does it take to manage the event itself once it's live? I mean, how many recruiters do you need on there? Give me some sense of that.
Yeah, great point. So the from the organizer side, a lot of times the event is managed by just a single person. Sometimes it's teams, but a lot of times it's used by a single person. When it comes to the participants and job seekers, one of the great benefits with TalentSpace is the flexibility and the modularity. So these formats can be mixed and matched in a number of different ways to cover anything from a large career fair with thousands of job seekers over multiple days and hundreds of companies, down to events with just a handful of employers, or even just a single employer, single employee deep dive afternoon, or folks also use it for virtual workshops for like resume trainings and internal workshops. So given the flexibility of the platform, we can really cover anything from hundreds of employers down to just a single one.
Okay.
Fantastic. What we could do is we can just give a quick taste of what that video engagement and live event experience looks like. Would that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. All right. So then I'm gonna basically share my screen again with the platform here. And so there's three different stakeholders: the event organizers, the job seekers, and the employers. And I'm just going to go ahead and log in into the view for an employer. So the first thing they'll see is this event dashboard, where they can basically see all the events that they have coming up with a specific organizer and all events that happened in the past. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and jump into one of these live events right away. So this is sort of our mock event that's currently happening live. And the first thing I see when they log in is this lobby overview. That's something that we spend a lot of time thinking about, interviewing job seekers, their experience on other platforms and getting their feedback. And so this is designed with the goals of, one, really providing an experience that makes job seekers feel like they're part of a big lively event, instead of just staring at a static, drop-down list of companies. And the other thing is also really guiding their experience. We've heard that sometimes people log into these online events and they don't exactly know what to click on. So the platform knows what's happening live right now and provides recommendations on the different program formats, sessions, or live booths that job seekers can join, and they can just join any of them by just clicking the join button here. And they also kind of get a sense of what's going on through the activity feed on the side and get recommendations, as I mentioned, for specific booths to join.
That feed is not typically I see on these platforms is mostly just a chat. Yours is more of a feed of activity happening. It just explains different things they're seeing on there. If you could, just the various pieces of data you put in there.
Exactly, yeah. So the platform takes a couple of seconds, short loop video of what's happening inside of these formats to like I said, really give folks this idea of being a live busy event, and also kind of remove that fear of like what's going to happen, what's behind that join button, and really kind of encouraging that engagement. And we can go ahead and show you kind of what that looks like. If my colleague Noah wants to take the role of a job seeker here, so let's assume it's my time to be staffing a virtual booth. As a company, I can just click join here from the program tab. In the next screen, I will give the platform basically the permission to access my camera and microphone. Because I'm an employer representative, I can join as a speaker here. And then with one more click, I'm taking directly into this video experience that's fully built into the platform. So basically here, you're never linked out to an external Zoom link. You don't have to download any plugin. You don't have to download any software. That video experience is fully integrated into the platform. And so I'm an employer representative here, and obviously I can talk to job seekers. I just got a request from one of the job seekers to talk to me. I can accept that request. They get a couple of seconds and then come up in one of these small screens here on the right-hand side. And then we can have a conversation, and I can get all the questions about my company and the jobs that are offered and answered.
Got you.
And then with all the video formats, as I mentioned before, chat is always an option. And then we also display the company profiles here, both in the company overview, but also next to the video format, so that folks jump into the booth and they kind of forgot what a company is all about. They can quickly read up on that, see their FAQs, and also see the jobs that are being offered by that company. Just to give you kind of a sense what that
Is there like a landing page too, for the events themselves?
I'm sorry?
Is there a landing page at the
For the event landing page? Absolutely, yeah. So basically, let me quickly log into the view of the organizer. So there's basically two elements to this. There's number one is the event landing page, where the organizer can take signups from job seekers. And then there's obviously the company overview for that's within the event once job seekers have entered an event. So just to give you a sense for what that event landing page looks like, once an organizer has configured an event, which also only takes a few minutes, the website pulls all of that information and condenses it into an automatically generated event landing page that includes things like cover photo, description, title. It will talk about the organizer, the companies that are going to be there that can also be featured at different levels if that's desired, the formats to expect, and all the sessions that are part of the event. And then by clicking register now, that's where job seekers can register for the event and take part in the different sessions.
Okay. I like the look and the design of it. It's pretty simplistic but modern looking. So you guys did a nice job with design there.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I mean, I think especially like we understand also that for a lot of folks, like virtual job fairs are a new thing, and then this might be one of the first job fairs to ever participate in. So there's a number of features that are part of the platform that are all designed to make this as easy to use as possible. So to just give you some examples, one of the things we really want to make sure that folks don't have to worry about tech stuff, but they can worry about they can focus on making connections. So what we've done is over the months, we've kind of collected some of the most frequently asked questions when it comes to technology, and we condensed them into a easy step-by-step tech checklist guide that every job seeker and employer is guided through when they first log into the platform. Here they can do things like test their camera and microphone. They can test screen share. We also, sometimes companies might log in from their company Wi-Fi and have things like firewalls or VPNs installed. That could be an issue. So the platform is able to detect any of these issues and will basically give them a little check mark if they pass. If they pass them, if they don't pass any of them, they'll be forwarded helps an article. If that's not enough, there's a chat button here at the bottom right that connects directly to our tech support. And that's where any job seeker employer can get any questions answered about the technology, so that organizers also don't have to become the tech team. Our folks can jump into any session and troubleshoot live or help them even before or after an event.
Okay. Couple questions, and then we wrap up. How do you differentiate yourselves from the other virtual platforms out there now?
Great question. So I think the things we like to point out here, number one is really that engagement piece. The fully integrated video and the different interactive formats really allow folks to really recreate that experience of an in-person event and really connect with employers in ways that wouldn't be possible with just text chat, even though that's also always an option. I think the other piece, kind of on the organizer side, is really that flexibility and modularity. So big career fairs is one option, but a lot of times we have organizers, they just have like one rapid response hiring event for one employer, or they run internal workshops. And with TalentSpace and the flexibility and modularity of the platform, they're able to cover all of these events with one platform, allowing them to host a variety of events. I think that's one thing. And the last thing is kind of the analytics part. Don't have enough time to go through that, but the platform essentially tracks everything that happens down to the individual connection level, what job seeker connected with what employer in what format and for how long, giving organizers a very meaningful picture and insights into the connections they were able to create between companies and job seekers.
Okay. And what's the pricing look like, guys?
So we offer annual licenses. The way you can think of it is you're renting a virtual event venue that you can use as much as you want. And the pricing essentially is determined, the price for this virtual venue is determined by how big you want the venue to be, size being determined by the maximum amount of employers in one event and the maximum amount of participants, job seekers in one event. And depending what your needs are, and we can consult clients individually on that. The pricing scales up for kind of the annual fee, and they can host an unlimited amount of events up to a certain size, depending on the package that they choose.
Okay. Is there like just give me an example? Give me like a typical. Give me for an employer specifically, like they want to have an event. They might have, let's say, 100 people show up. I mean, what's the cost or something like that?
Yeah, so the pricing is a little different for career fair organizers that onboard their own employer partners versus employers that that essentially it's just one employer essentially, and they onboard job seekers. It really kind of depends on the requirements, but yeah, any customer would be happy to kind of put together and consult on individually and get them a price code.
Okay. Well, tell them where to go to learn more.
Yeah, they can learn more on talentspace.io. That's where all the information is, and that's also where a more personalized and in-depth demo can be booked with us anytime.
Noah and Simon, thanks very much for showing us the product today.
Thanks so much for your time.